All right, this is the last video for this deliverable on the Civil 3D portion. Every video after this will be on the calculations. Here we'll talk a little bit about the plan set. As we went over in the first video, you can see exactly what sheets need to be a part of your plan set. One of the things I wanted to do is give you a recommendation about how to make your title sheet. Now, you can do this in a copy of your file. I would probably do this in a copy of your file. It can be literally any file. Especially because this one, wherever you make your section cuts, it's going to start having a lot of section sheets. If you want to do an 07A for section cuts for McCormick Road, and then you can do an 07B for section cuts of Alderman, whatever works for your system is great. For the title sheet, I recommend you guys have three things. You should have some kind of project title, your name, and a legend basically acting as a table of contents. So the title sheet you'll likely have to make last. That way you know what order all of your sheets are going to be in, and you don't have to redo everything. But if you've made your whole plan set and now you're doing the title sheet, this is what I would do. I would use the text to sort of make a title. So I'll specify a height of like 8 or something. All of this I can change. And here I might call this CE 2010 semester design project. And then I'll put my name. And below this, we can make a legend. So that's really small, so I might need to increase the size of this. There's the height. There it is. So maybe I'll do like 15, for example, and just reduce the overlap. And now we are going to make a legend. So if I remember how to do that, I think it's in the Annotate tab, and then Table, and Legend, or yeah, it's here. This table one, add a legend, or you can just do a regular standard table. It really doesn't matter here. So I'll do a standard table, for example, or did that work? There we go, standard table. If you know how many sheets you have, then you can go ahead and make this work. So I'll do 2 columns and increase the column width. Actually, I know I'm going to want these to be a little bit bigger than Civil 3D will make them. And I'll want 1 row per plan sheet or set. So for example, all your section views you could do in 1 row. So let's say I'll do like 10 to start with. Hit OK, and I'll put this in. So now it's asking for the title, so we'll call this table of contents. And I can't really tell what it's asking for here. I'm going to see if I can close this, and then there we go. It's really small, but we can scale it all up. So, for example, I can start with existing conditions. And then maybe I go into plan views, and then I go into profiles. I have my roadways, my assemblies, my volume report. Like, it's up to you how you make these Alderman sections. And so I could here, for example, call this, my existing conditions is C100. And my plan views are going to be C101 to 103, for example. Profiles will be C200 to 202. My roadway plan views will be C202 to 203. Or sorry, 203 to 204, I guess that would be overlapping numbers right there. So this is one option you have. You can also make a separate row for every single plan sheet. But you just need to have a table of contents. You need to have your name and a title for your project. And all of this should be the first plan sheet on your plan set. So make that into a plan sheet, and going and actually looking at our sheet set, make sure all of your sheets are added here. Mine is going to be really bare bones since I don't have all of it made out, but I can show you the one that I made previously, I suppose. Here we go. So you can see I have all my plan set sheets here. My Alderman McCormick intersection, my Alderman Treehouse intersection, my profiles, assemblies. And so I have all of these. And importantly, they're named, numbered, and in order, right? So this should count up in numerical order. You can drag these by just clicking and holding, and you can move them up and down as you need to. So make sure your plan sheets are in order. Make sure it's in order that sort of makes sense. If you want to copy this exact order, you're welcome to. It doesn't need to be the same. Your numbers don't need to have specific meaning. For example, not everybody needs to put their stormwater sheets in C400, but just group them in a way that makes sense to you, and then put them all in the sheet set, and then you'll just do the publish to PDF as we've been doing. Everything else that you're going to do, like the extra written justifications and your scorecards and everything, will be added separately however you choose to combine the PDFs. That's up to you. So yeah, that's some tips for your title page and just organizing all of your sheets. All of these should be pretty much made by now, so hopefully this isn't too much work on your end to get them organized and renumbered, relabeled. If you right-click any of your sheets and you go to rename and renumber, you can rename it, renumber it, and then click next and go to the next sheet. So this makes it a really quick process to do this, as long as you know what order you want them to be in. So use that to your advantage. All right, that's the end of the Civil 3D portion for this deliverable. In the next 3 videos, we will go over some calculation problems.